How's it going, friends? LUIGINATOR here for the LUIGINATOR podcast. Today it is me and Sam. Sam, say hello.
That last thing you posted in the chat, the podcast chat, that's my face about this whole topic.
I'm so excited for this topic. Sam is less excited for this topic.
I'm
so excited.
Very scared.
Before we continue, though, as always, if you would like to participate in the podcast in the future, you can go in the description and click the link to join the LUIGINATOR official Discord server, where we have the halftime chat down in the bottom left here, and you can submit topics that you would like for us to discuss in the future. You can submit stuff for us to talk about during halftime. It's a great time. We always have a lot of participants. This time, when I had people, Sam, I forgot to tell you, I had people from the server asking me if we were going to be recording today. They were very excited about it, so we actually have a good audience here today. Thank you all for following the podcast. It really genuinely means a lot to both of us.
Yeah.
And it was funny. We were sitting here and we were ready to go. We were ready. This is the intro, the podcast intro storytime story this time. This is the podcast intro storytime story.
That's we were
here. It is daytime outside for like the second ever time as we're recording this.
Yep.
And we were sitting here. This is like maybe 20 minutes ago. We were sitting here. We were all ready to go. I had all the stuff up, and all of a sudden, Sam just went completely radio silent. But he was still in the Discord, and I was sitting here going, Sam, are you good? And I was sitting here, I'm thinking my internet went out, Sam's internet went out, my Discord went out, because it was when we were just about to finish the sound test we do at the beginning to make sure that my stuff is picking up Sam's dialogue. And I sat here for 5 solid minutes saying, Sam, are you here? Oh my god, my stuff is broken, before I got a text from Sam saying, hey, my computer just force restarted. Sorry, I'll be back soon. And his computer restarted, but didn't take Sam out of the Discord. I was just sitting here yelling at a phantom Sam. So that's how this podcast has begun.
My astral image left my corpse, and then you were just talking to a dead body.
That's what you told me. You told me that it was just your computer restarting. It was actually you astral projecting, and you couldn't get back, but didn't want, like, you were like embarrassed about it and didn't want to own up at the time.
Like something just, my computer like blasted me out of my body, and my like ghost self is just like, what the frick is going on? How do I move? What is forward in this new dimension I'm in? Nothing
well, all right,
more antagonizing than a game with annoying controls. Am I right?
I don't think that we can delay this topic anymore, Sam. I'm sorry. I think if we had
Who's we?
It's time to introduce this topic, Sam.
Alright.
So
strap in, folks. You better be on the edge of your seat with this one, because my god, apparently like all the other topics are just gonna get blown out of the water with this one.
Okay, so let me set the stage for you, friends. Everyone is familiar, unfortunately, with Sonic OCs. Sonic OCs, for those who are uninitiated, are original characters, or OCs, created by fans of the game series Sonic the Hedgehog. And these can range from very mild, very innocent, just here's what I think would be a cool character in the series, to things like this. If you've ever been on DeviantArt, DeviantArt is usually represented by absolutely heinous Sonic OCs. I will not post an example here. Sam, you absolutely can if you would like.
No.
I am condemning you all to the hell that is searching on Google Images for Sonic the Hedgehog OCs. And that's your mission right now, is to pause the podcast, go to Google, go to Bing, go to whatever you want to search with, turn your safe search off, go to images and search Sonic OCs.
You do realize those OCs are so bad, their existence alone can blow up the Death Egg.
Yes. Like, that's why they made Sonic Forces. That's why they made custom characters in Sonic Forces. Fun fact, that's actually the reason, is because Sonic OCs are so big and so popular that the developers were like, well, people must like this enough to want to put it in the games, so let's put it in the games. Spoiler alert, Sega, not as many people wanted that as you thought they did.
But it was fun.
It was a cool gimmick, but like, I want to play as Tails.
Yeah.
So those are Sonic OCs. everybody knows Sonic OCs, right? And however, I have a new challenge for us today. Sam and I's challenge today is we are going to come up with Donkey Kong OCs. We're going to come up with our own original Donkey Kong characters. Sam, aren't you excited?
This just dawned on me, but we went from Sonic OCs to now Donkey Kong OCs, and neither one of the main characters wears any major part of clothing.
No, they don't. But
we actually downgrade. We went from socks, shoes, and gloves, and now we just downgraded to just a tie. That's it.
Well, okay, you're not exactly limited to that.
Well,
so, yeah.
Okay, yeah, I forgot about him.
Your Kong can wear or do or like be whatever you want them to be. The only limits that you have for these characters, the only two rules that I'm going to set, Sam, are their species, because it can only be an ape or a monkey of some kind, you know, like Donkey Kong or Diddy Kong. It has to be like a gorilla or an orangutan like Lanky Kong, or it can be one of the Kremlings, so it can be an alligator person. So it could be one of the Kremlings, like King K. Rool. It could be one of him. You can't make one of the random animal buddies. Oh my God, Sam, why would you do this to this podcast?
I'm sorry, I'll get rid of it.
That's definitely a cat in a costume.
I'll just get rid of that. I'm sorry, you guys had to see that.
So yeah, it has to either be a Kremling or a Kong. It can be any species of ape. It can be any kind of crocodile, even though there's only like two. But it has to be one of them. The other rule is it can wear clothes. It can be, the name has to somewhat reflect what it is. So like Funky Kong, you know, he's cool, he's funky, so he's Funky Kong, right? Actually, you know what? Scrap that rule. You can call him whatever you want. The last name just has to be Kong if it's a Kong.
Oh, thank God.
So
I was starting to like sweat when you threw out the name rules, and I was just like, oh crap.
All right, so Sam, I know normally I let you go first.
Oh, please, you go first. You go first.
Okay, I'll go first.
I need to know what level I need to set myself at.
Don't worry, man. I got you. All right, so before I could start with my first, Kong, I have to build it up and set some backstory here. So, is everybody familiar with the Marvelous Misadventures of Flapjack? I'm going to pretend that everybody said yes.
We're familiar with it.
Yes, thank you, everyone. I know Sam is familiar with it, right? So, there's this episode of The Marvelous Misadventures of Flapjack, this one in particular, where Peppermint Larry follows a map wrong, and instead of getting to Candied Island, Peppermint Larry gets to Pickle Island, and he meets this pickle person. Well, my first Kong that I posit to you is Sam Pickle Kong. Pickle Kong.
No.
Don't you oh-no him? He's new. He's just been born. Can't oh-no him yet. All right, so
it's just Donkey Kong turned into a pickle, and he's just yelling at Diddy Kong. I turned myself into a pickle,
I
Diddy
didn't
Kong.
mean for that to happen.
But he's just saying it in Donkey Kong language. So I guess monkey language. I don't know.
Monkey language. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and set the basics real quick. All right, I'm gonna start at the most basics. Sam, I'm pretty sure you'll remember them from Ark, because they were one of the species that I would always intentionally go out of my way to find and tame. The species. Pickle Kong is a Gigantopithecus, which for those who are unaware, the Gigantopithecus is one of the like quote-unquote missing link species. It is a giant orangutan-like great ape that once existed in prehistoric times. That is what Pickle Kong is. Whereas Donkey Kong is formerly like the biggest of the Kongs, Pickle Kong is actually the biggest Kong. Pickle Kong is absolutely gigantic. Here's a comparative for a Gigantopithecus to a person, just to give you that idea, right? And you gotta remember, Mario is like half the height of a normal person. So if you cut a regular person in half and that's Mario, a Gigantopithecus is like 1, 2, 3, 4, like a Gigantopithecus is like 5 Marios or 4.5 Luigis. You get me? You know what I'm saying? You got a picture in your head, Sam?
Why are we bringing history into this, and why are we doing scalings using a measurement of Marios and Luigis?
Sam, first of all, because they're very accurate and easy to measure unit of measurement. It's like people who measure time
Tell that to
using
Game
Shrek.
Theory. Had a whole video about how tall Mario is.
Game Theory, come be on our podcast and listen to me talk about my Gigantopithecus Kong. Remind me, Sam, after I finish, I gotta go get a quarter to put it in the
We already
sponsorship
asked him to come on the
jar.
show. Do we have to put another quarter in for him?
Yes, we have to put a quarter in every time we ask, even if it's someone we've already asked. On the bright side, let me look at it real quick, because I keep the jar on my desk. The jar has like a solid layer of quarters at the bottom now, though, just amongst all of us and all of our guests asking people to be on. Speaking of it, I'm not gonna put a quarter in for this one, but guys, someone come be on the podcast again. We didn't think, first of all, I am absolutely flabbergasted and amazed and so happy that you guys like listening to me and Sam.
Yeah.
Like, I genuinely didn't know if just 2 people would be able to float the dumb topics that we have, but Sam, we've apparently been doing really well.
What do you mean dumb topics? I like to think our topics are educational. We bring the real world knowledge into the people's ears, while your schools and universities, they teach you nothing like quadratic formulas. What are we gonna do with that? Let me tell you what we're telling you. Our stuff will take you to the big leagues, son.
Hell yeah.
Anyways, I'm an egg.
Good God, Sam. What just happened there? Anyway.
Educational.
We need someone needs to come be on this podcast again, because we did not expect this long of a drought without having one of our pals be on it with us. And it's just weird. I did not plan the podcast to go this long without a guest. I think it's working without them, but like, come on guys, come on back. You know we miss you. Right, Sam?
Why make millions where we can make billions?
Exactly. So anyway, Pickle Kong is a Gigantopithecus. He is the biggest Kong on the island. He has height immeasurable and incomparable to any of the other Kongs. He's a big boy. And one of the most discerning features of Pickle Kong is, if you will look at a picture of Donkey Kong, like really any picture of Donkey Kong, old or new, it doesn't matter. I'm gonna submit this one for the review just because it puts it in the most public perspective.
Oh God, no!
All the Kongs, except for like the smaller ones, have big, beefy biceps, right? You can plainly see them here on display on this beautiful A1 picture of Donkey Kong on your screen right now. Pickle Kong is a little bit different. Pickle Kong had a bit of an accident, and by a bit of an accident, I mean Pickle Kong was born. And so Pickle Kong, instead of having big, beefy, beautiful biceps, Pickle Kong actually has massive, kosher-friendly dill pickles as his arms. So he is more or less a normal ape, but his biceps are giant gherkins.
So his muscles are edible?
Yes, and they regenerate if bitten off.
What, is he a mutant? Is he an X-Man?
No, he is Pickle Kong, sir. He is wholesome, he is generous, he is kosher friendly, he is there, he's like the medic of the Kong crew, alright? He went to medical school and dropped out after 2 semesters because he realized, wait, my arms are pickles, they can heal, they have electrolytes, they have nutrients, they have a very small amount of calories, but a very high comparative amount of nutrients in information and help and health. They're good, Sam. Pickle Kong, that's it. That's where he slots in, right? Diddy Kong and Dixie Kong, they can fly. Cranky Kong can bounce. And Funky Kong can surf, right? Lanky Kong's got his long arms. Donkey Kong's got his big muscles. Chunky Kong is Chunky Kong. But Pickle Kong is the healer. Alright, so you ready for me to elucidate this lore even more, right? Alright, here we go.
Oh.
So he's got those big beefy biceps. Now if you wanted to, you could take a big chunk out of those, and they do regenerate, right? Only the pickle part, very important. If you took a bite out of his forearm, which is like normal ape, normal Gigantopithecus arm, wouldn't grow back, it'd be a big mess, it'd be a big problem. But if you took a bite out of the pickle bicep, that pickle bicep, it's gonna go right on back, baby. But normally, it's hard for people to get up there. He's a Gigantopithecus. He's a big old boy. It's hard for him to get up there unless they, like, climb up. Plus, you can't always get up there, right? How are you gonna expect someone to, in the middle of combat, when they need healing, run all the way back to Pickle Kong just to get their healing? You're not, Sam, right? Am I right? Exactly, I'm right. So, Pickle Kong has another evolutionary advantage. Pickle Kong, on only his left hand, Pickle Kong has projectile pickle fingers, Sam. Projectile pickle fingers. PPFs, but only on the left hand. They're left PPF. LPPF, if you will, Samuel. So, Sam, what I posit to you, and to friends, the friends at home, what I posit to you is Pickle Kong, in close combat, could have a friend jump up, take a big old chunk out of his bicep, they'd heal, and he'd keep on going to town. Or, if it is across the map, Pickle Kong can point his left hand and fire his fingers, which also grow back at a slightly faster rate than his bicep. Bicep, that'll grow back, like, fully healed. Bicep fully healed in like 10 minutes. Pickle finger fully heals like 5 minutes, right? So he can projectile launch his left hand pickle fingers into the mouths of his friends across the battlefield, and they will heal. But I hear you saying, for the sake of balance, we've all played Super Smash Bros. We've all played Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle, which is better than you all probably think it is. Please go play it. I hear you saying we need to have balance in these fighters. What the hell could such a big, powerful healer character have as his foil? Because, like, let's think about it. Medic in TF2 has the foil that he doesn't have the most powerful weapons in the world, right? He has to be behind someone and near someone who can protect him, because he can't always protect himself while he's healing. Pickle Kong's got a big old right hand that don't got pickle fingers. He can still punch and fire. What's his foil? Well, he's got two foils. One, he doesn't necessarily know if an enemy is going to jump in the way. Sam, how many times has this happened to you? You're sitting across the room from me, and you say, hey, Caleb, I need a bit of healing. Can you throw one of your pickles at me? And I say, hell yeah, Sam. I chuck one of my pickles over, but before you can hit it, someone in the middle, like Philip, jumps up in the middle and just eats it right out of the air before it gets to you. How many times has that happened to us, Sam?
Normally when you throw something at me, it just hits me in the face.
Oh, no.
I don't know about anything about a monkey in the middle, but
Okay.
you know what? It happens, man.
That does happen, actually. I do have a brief sidetrack. I do have a habit of accidentally hitting Sam in the face with stuff. I don't mean to. It just happens.
I think I still have like a small cut on my bottom lip when you hit me in the face with a poster.
Okay, I'm gonna explain that, and then we need to get back to Pickle Kong. So one time we had this one of those like cardboard rolls for posters, and it was in the living room. I can't remember if it was in the living room or if it was in Sam's bedroom, and I took it out of Sam's bedroom into the living room.
It was in the living room.
Okay, so it was in the living room, and I was like, Sam, you asked me to hand it to you, I think, and you walked into the room, and I thrust it at you, thinking, oh, it'll be fine, you know, it's empty or whatever. A poster came out of the roll and hit Sam right in the fucking face, and I screamed. I felt so bad.
For context, No, the poster wasn't like all the way like out, like it wasn't like flat paper hit me. No, this thing was like, it's a big poster rolled up, so like with rubber band holding it together, so like you can hit someone with it and they'll feel it. So I got hit with like the like curvature indent of it at the very top of it when it's rolled up. So when it hit me, it just went right into my bottom lip, and I'm not gonna lie, I was not prepared for it all, but like I got hit by it with so much force that I like got knocked back onto the floor, and I'm just like holding my bottom lip, and I just go, ow, why ow? Why ow?
I'm so bad. There's also the time, one time I taught myself how to throw a card like a ninja star, and I threw it so hard that it like chipped the wall in our apartment. And I remember, the only reason it sticks out to me is because, Sam, I was learning how to do it in your bedroom, and you were telling me, Caleb, you're gonna break something, you need to stop. And I said, nah, it'll be fine. It wasn't fine?
You were putting literal dents in the wall with cards, and then you were like, "Hey, let me change targets." Sam, hold still. And I'm like,
I did not.
No, you didn't. But you asked me, like, Sam, can I throw this at you? And I was like, no.
Yes, I did. But because I wasn't gonna do it without your permission.
Even still, like we saw literal dents in the wall, permanent dents from a card that you threw, and then you just had the idea of just like, yeah, let me just shake it up a little. Let me try a live target or something personal.
Oh my god! For Sam and I have had the beautiful opportunity to play Among Us, and I've played a couple other games with a Flexstream who does Twitch and does YouTube, and I will link to his stuff down below or in a card. Sam and I had the opportunity to play Among Us in a couple of games with him, and Fleck, this is my moment to be like, hey, I promise, Sam and I aren't making anything up. This is just how we act in everyday life. I do something stupid and Sam plays off it perfectly, or vice versa. Oh my god.
It depends on how much physical pain will come my way with these types of things.
So anyway, Pickle Kong, man. Yeah, Pickle Kong can launch pickles into people's mouths, but his foil is that his foil is that it's on his left hand. So on top of the fact that someone could just jump up and snatch that gherkin right on out of the air before it reaches its assigned target, he can't aim perfectly with his left hand. So what winds up happening a lot of the time is that he aims with the left hand, and you know, it's his left hand, so he's a little bit off, and so he thinks, oh, this is probably about right, and then he fires, and then he misses, and he fires, and then he misses, and then on the third time, that time it'll finally hit, and then it'll be good. But that's the foil. He can't really aim super good with his left hand, right? And it's only on his left hand.
Is he right-handed?
Yes, he's right-handed.
Okay.
Yeah, so he's a right-handed Kong, but his main healing, his projectile healer, is in the left hand, so it balances a little bit that way. He is not just a super-powered pickle, like 25% pickle Gigantopithecus hybrid Kong. Pickle Kong has his faults, just like all of us do, right? We all have some sort of like heroic flaw that we all possess. It could be hubris, it could be being too kind, it could be cockiness, it could be fucking like Marty McFly in Back to the Future, where if someone calls him a chicken, he can't get the fuck over it. No, that's Pickle Kong's. Right-handed Kong, left-handed projectile healing. What are you gonna do, man? What are you gonna do? Sam, do you have any questions so far about Pickle Kong?
I have so many.
All right, hold them real quick because I got one thing I gotta say first. I forgot. It's very important. So as you can see, this is a good lumpy pickle, which is not a statement I thought I'd say today. As you can see by this picture of a pickle, unless you're listening on Spotify and you can't see it, in which case just go look up any picture of a pickle. Search lumpy pickle on Google. Challenge mode. Turn safe search off first. You see how it's got these lumpy bumpies all over it, Sam? Do you see the pickle bumps?
Yes, I see its rough texture.
Yes, so out of each of the bumps on this pickle that is where the hair comes out of. That's not necessarily a defining trait, but I just wanted everyone to know this is not just a a hair-covered pickle, right? Just like how we have hair follicles on our arms, and just like gorillas and gigantopitheci have hair follicles on their arms, so too does the bicep and the little fingies of Pickle Kong. Pickle Kong's hair on his biceps and a little bit on the backs of his fingies comes out of the bumps on the pickles. So he's not a complete freak, all right? They're not just fuzzy pickles, which is an Earthbound reference. They are pickles that follow some sort of anatomical structure, right? Okay, Sam, what are your questions about Pickle Kong? Let's go, let's shoot.
Okay. First off, how long were you sitting on this character to come up with all of this exact details and lore?
I'm gonna be real, this is all made up on the spot.
All on the spot?
Literally all of it, yeah, yes. You're welcome.
Okay. Because you kind of... Alright. Okay. Second question. So he can shoot out pickles from his left hand.
Yes.
When he shoots a pickle out of his hand, one, does he have to reload the hand, or does his like healing power just make it grow back on its own?
The healing power makes it grow back on its own. It just, like I said, it's got the time limit on it.
Okay. And then my second question, follow-up to that, is when he shoots the pickle, does it make an iconic sound? or a sound of any kind?
It, have you ever seen Shrek 2?
Yes.
Okay, so there's that scene in Shrek 2 where this one right here, I'm so glad it was there, where Donkey that's the noise that it makes. Is the noise of Donkey going right every time he shoots one of his fingers. And when it grows back, every time it grows back, it's the noise of Shrek screaming. That's his iconic noises.
So apparently Pickle Kong is the transition area for Donkey Kong series and the Shrek franchise.
Yes!
That's the middle ground area.
That was so okay. So there's the Nintendo parks coming to Universal Studios. Universal owns DreamWorks, which owns Shrek. So that was the trade-off. Nintendo said, okay, we can give you Mario, we can give you Donkey Kong if you allow us to use these sound clips, these two random specific sound clips for one of our characters in the Donkey Kong series. That's the only reason that Super Nintendo World happened. That is the real linchpin of why Pickle Kong is such an important character, Sam. We wouldn't have Super Nintendo Land at Universal Studios parks all around the world if it weren't for Pickle Kong. And that is my timer. It is time to be done talking about Pickle Kong. And before, Sam, we segue into you talking about your beautiful creation of a Kong, I would like for everybody to know that I have had Photoshop open this entire time with the attempt to get Pickle Kong drawn, and I kept getting so sidetracked. This is as far as I got, so that is as much of Pickle Kong as you ever get to see.
It looks like a Band-Aid with like a grouchy face and boobs in the center.
That is as much of Pickle Kong as we get to see right now, everybody. I hope you enjoyed him. He's very good.
So angry.
And every time you go to Universal Studios and go to Super Nintendo World or Land, Super Nintendo Land, I hope all of you remember to thank Pickle Kong, to walk through the front gate and stare the employee dead in the face and say, "Thank you, Pickle Kong." And no matter what they say, you just have to repeat it. So if they say, "What did you say?" you just have to repeat, "Thank you, Pickle Kong," and then go about your way. Sam, it is your turn.
You know how most people will go to like Disney or some expo or whatever and cosplay? I think I'm gonna go as Pickle Kong next time I go out to the park.
Please, holy crap, please.
There's my cosplay. It's just Pickle with sunglasses with pickle arms and pickle gun.
Alright, friends, ultimate challenge. If we take off if we take off and Sam and I get to go to some kind of con or some kind of meet and greet, at least one of you has to come meet us dressed as Pickle Kong. I will cry. Holy shit. Alright, Sam, let's hear your Kong, buddy. I got you. Let's do this.
Okay. Here we go. So, this character, you might have a slight idea of like where I got my inspiration from, but I'm about to go heavy on the lore and the world and the impact that this character has on the Donkey Kong universe that I know very little about, because I never played a single Donkey Kong game.
Oh, we gotta fix that, bud.
Yeah, that's what my mom said. Anyways, so for my original Donkey Kong character. Oh crap! I immediately saying that I should have gone with like Donkey Kong, but with like Sonic.
It's too late. Can't go back.
Yeah, too late now.
Do it.
But so here we go. This is my character, the one I was gonna start with. His name is Paul.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that's right, baby. Paul here. He's your average little monkey ape dude, but he's got
before you get
eyes.
into this. Before you get into this, I have to ask, is his name Paul Kong, or is it just Paul?
Well, I was gonna go into the lore, like everyone knows him as Paul, but the lore is gonna be like, what? He's a Kong all along?
Alright, continue, I'm so sorry.
Okay, so, this guy, his name's Paul. You can see him right there. He's going like, hi, I'm Paul. You can probably see Jimmy Neutron. Anyways, so here's his little backstory. He grows up on an island, barren island, by himself. He just every time someone like passes by over plane, over boat, he doesn't wave for rescue. He just waves at them and goes, "Hi, I'm Paul," and then they go on with their day because they think he's fine, but really he's struggling inside. So then one day, the big bad King K. Rool comes in on the pirate ship or whatever ship he has. I think he has a ship of any sorts. I'm going with it. Okay, so he comes in, he's like, this island is mine, I'm gonna get bananas or fruits or whatever's, and then Paul is there and he's like, hi, I'm Paul, and then King K. Rool is just like, oh, a monkey, he's probably related to the Kongs, I will imprison him. So then some games happen, King K. Rool takes over his island, Paul lost his home, yet he doesn't know what the heck's going on because he doesn't know what a King K. Rool is anyway. This is his first communication from the outside world. And then game plot happens, and then Donkey Kong takes down King K. Rool, and he frees all the prisoners and whatnots, and then he meets Paul, and then they start communicating in ape language, and then Paul is just like actually talking in English, and then Donkey Kong's like, what the crap? And then years go by, bam, Paul's accepted into the family because his secret power is he's got triple vision and can speak English. That is unheard of. Nobody speaks English in the Donkey Kong world, to my knowledge.
That's fair. They do not.
This is the wild card we're talking about here, folks. And because of this, the future for Donkey Kong makes it to the big leagues, baby. You thought Donkey Kong looked good in a tie? Well, now Donkey Kong's got a suit and tie on that he rips open constantly with his mad muscle arms, because thanks to Paul over here, Donkey Kong and Diddy Kong and the whole family are now involved in finance. Yeah, that's right, man. They are triple stock multi-millionaires because Paul has big brain English language knowledge into the stock market program. So now, cut to years later, Donkey Kong and his family are mad stacks loaded rich. Their hut is still there, but now it is adjoined with a big multi-level hut built by the Kong Industries trademark. And with this newfound power, Paul, Donkey Kong, Diddy Kong, other Kongs that I can't remember at the top of my head, they have everything they could ever want and more. Or do they? There's one thing always missing. One thing that they could not live without, and they did not realize it until they already got to this point. they're still missing their flippin' bananas. So they take over the world. Because all the humans, they have all the bananas. They need more bananas. So they outlaw bananas. They kill all the banana consumers. That one didn't last long because then Paul was just like, guys, no, that's too far.
I was about to say, I consume bananas. I don't want to get killed by Paul.
Well, no. Donkey Kong was doing all the killing, but then Paul cut in and was just like, hey, no, let's not do that anymore. Paul is the voice of reason, of wisdom, of calmness. And he got through to Donkey Kong, and then Donkey Kong went back home because the newfound power and knowledge of the open world was overtaking him, so he had to go take a sabbatical. He had to calm down. He gave the corporation over to Paul in the meantime, so Donkey Kong can figure himself out, well, with Diddy Kong's help, of course, because he's a good bro. And then Paul gathered up all the bananas in the world with no violence whatsoever. He brought all the bananas and fortune to the Donkey Kong world. But due to the fact that the violence that consumed Donkey Kong and his outrage, Donkey Kong was never the same after that. To be continued.
Oh my god.
And that's just the lore.
Okay.
I already mentioned before that Paul over here, he's got 3 eyes. He can speak English. He's got opposable thumbs, don't we all? He can go a long ways. Look at that smile.
Look at that smile.
He's got.
Yeah.
And you know what else? You know what else? This is something that everyone overlooked, but not me, not my character. I noticed this first. Ladies and gentlemen, our boy Paul has one ear bigger than the other. And you know what that means, right? When you have one ear that's bigger than the other.
No.
He can hear your thoughts.
Oh god.
Everything you're thinking, he can hear it. And everything you're saying, he can hear it through the other ear. Paul has joined the battle. He is the battle. You go up against Paul, you can't win, because if you damage him, you damage yourself.
Oh my god.
That is his power. It has no logic. It has no reason. It cannot be defined. If Paul punches you, you get punched. If you punch Paul, the answer is no. The answer is no. You can't. It doesn't work. Paul is the universe. You want to take him out? Not even all the Infinity Stones can take him out. That's right. Cross over to Marvel now.
Oh god.
Paul is love. Paul is life. Put that on a shirt. LuigiNator.com/merchandise.
LuigiNator.com. No.
Do we have that trademarked, or do
No,
you have that
we
trademarked?
don't.
Do you have a website? Get a website. Let's get a website. Let's get a website and put Paul on our website on a shirt.
Paul has gotten too powerful. Look, he's corrupting reality. Oh god.
Because he has 3 eyes, mind-telling powers with ears, and has opposable thumbs, and can speak English. Nobody can stop this guy. He's crazy.
This has gone so far. So far. Oh my god.
And it can only go further. His power grows with every minute. Every passing minute.
I like that in all of this chaos that he causes, his whole deal, like his slot in with the Kongs, is that he's like the voice of reason.
Yeah, because anything that the Donkey Kongs ask of him, he will say yes, because they are his first family. They took him in, and he brought them great benefit. Yet that benefit was too overwhelming for Donkey Kong, and probably for Diddy Kong. And that's why Donkey Kong had to take a sabbatical. The stress was too much. He had to stop. He had to rethink his choices. He had to think about his future. Paul can handle it. Paul is Paul. But Donkey Kong, he's not familiar with this English language and all this stuff. The only, like, communication he had with the outside world was, like, through Mario, and he threw barrels at that guy. Like,
So is Paul the smartest Kong? He is both the voice of reason, but is he the smartest of them all?
I'm about to blow your mind. You ready for this?
Always. Go.
In terms of book smarts, no.
Yeah.
He's not that smart. He's not that smart in book knowledge because there's no books on the island, and he doesn't have time to read because he's always so busy. But in any situation, he has real world smarts. In any situation, any hypothetical, any what ifs, any situation that requires him to make a decision, he has his gut instincts that are always pushing him in the right direction. That will make you think he is the smartest ape on this planet. But no, he is just ready. He is just in the now, if that makes sense. Like, let me like break it down. Like, this is actually like something like there's book smarts, like I said, and then there's like street smarts. Like, when you're in a situation, like, what are your capabilities, what are the other person's capabilities, and how do you go about it to get the best outcome that is most benefit for you? He has that dialed up to 200%. That is Paul. That's what makes him so powerful in addition to his abilities.
This is truly remarkable. This is a large amount of knowledge to take in, I will be honest with you. I feel a bit overwhelmed by Paul and his capabilities.
Are you ready for the biggest mic drop ever?
Yes, I'm ready.
You want to know where he got all the smarts from, or why he was in the island in the first place?
His dad?
His dad is Jimmy Neutron.
Oh god, that opens up way too many questions. Wait.
Jimmy Neutron had an experiment gone wrong. Jimmy Neutron.
I thought you meant he fucked a monkey.
No, God, no! Do you know how old Jimmy Neutron is?
That's why I said there are too many questions.
He's just the science dad.
I didn't know.
He did the science birth, not the mommy birth. No.
He did the science birth, not the mommy birth. Wait, who was Paul's mom if Jimmy Neutron is his dad?
He has no mom.
What?
Like, I mean, like, Jimmy Neutron was the only, like, person he came in contact with before the island. After that, it was King K. Rool and Donkey Kong and everything after that I said. But, like, before Island, it was just Jimmy Neutron. Like, he had the experiment, he grew an eye, he grew the ability to speak, and then Jimmy Neutron was threatened by all this new abilities that this Paul has dubbed. He was named Paul before the experiment, of course. So Jimmy Neutron's just like, it's not right to kill you because you're so capable of life. I see it in your eyes, all three of your eyes. I see your future.
Great things in you, Paul.
I see great things in you, Paul. And while I am threatened by you, my experiment was a success, and you will bring greatness into this world. Yet, I cannot be part of that greatness. So he sends him off to an island, a remote island, and Jimmy Neutron's like, you will not remember me. We will never see each other again. And I know you will survive, for you are Paul, and then flies away.
I'm crying. This is such a good podcast, Sam. I like that Jimmy Neutron is his, like super space dad or whatever, like big philosophical, like, deep thing, you know what I mean?
Jimmy Neutron is Paul's creator.
Wait, so does that mean that Jimmy Neutron is a Kong by extension?
I mean, after Paul gets accepted into the Kong family and gets the full name Paul Kong, theoretically, yes, Jimmy Neutron will be related to the Kongs, but not by blood, because neither is Paul. He just got adopted by the family, and Jimmy Neutron's just kind of like that adopted son's father. Wait, that's not.
So he's he is a Kong through, like,
through Paul.
Yeah, he's not a blood Kong. He's a family Kong.
Yes, he has connections, but no history.
Okay, that tracks. That tracks. So
that tracks. All this tracks. All this makes sense. This is Paul. Paul is life. Paul is love.
Is a Kong. Interesting.
Write that down. Write that down.
Write that down. Write that down. God, you've painted such beautiful lore for Paul. How did you learn all of this?
How do I learn all this?
Yeah.
I had a great source.
What was your source?
The tic-tac-toe, it's right there.
Oh my god.
See all those X's? That was gonna be Sonic, but then the O's lined up and it was just like, I see, Paul. And then the rest is history.
Okay.
Yes, questions.
I'm trying to process. This was a lot of information. It's very good information. It's just so much to take in. So, oh my god.
I feel like at this point in the podcast, our audience has had several strokes.
That's probably fair. Hey, the Luiginator podcast. Oops, I'm yawning. The Luiginator podcast is not responsible for any health effects that you may suffer as a result of listening to the podcast. This was your choice to listen to this. You did this. Not me, not Sam. You.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you for being here. We appreciate it very much, and we hope you get better soon. Sam, do you have any last-minute things to clarify about Paul?
He has a brother.
Who is Paul's brother?
You'll find out in the next podcast.
Oh no, we're gonna have to wait so long. I rotate topics out of the wheel until they're all done. We're gonna have to wait till the next wheel.
That's what you get for leaving on a cliffhanger last podcast. Ooh, got him.
Go watch the last podcast, everybody.
Yeah,
God dang
it was a good podcast.
Well, it is well over halftime, but it's time for halftime, everybody.
Let's do it.
At roughly 10 minutes left in the podcast, it's time for halftime. Halftime might go into lightning round this time, Sam. Let's friggin' find the frack out. Alright, everybody, just as a reminder while I pull up the questions, if you would like to submit your own topics of discussion for the Luiginator podcast, you can join the Luiginator Discord server and hop on in the halftime chat section. It is under the official Luiginator podcast section within the server. It's really easy. We always have a lot of fun with this one. It's a good time. And now let's start her off. Gore Artist says, "I'll make it simple today. You're one of my favorite YouTubers. Oh, thank you. Oh my god. Oh, thank you. It's very sweet." Goity has a question. What would happen if two black holes collided in our atmosphere? And I don't have to provide an answer because James G, who is a game developer, everybody, James G said they would obviously suck each other off. Well, there you go, man. I don't even have to answer at that point.
I think I'm reading the halftime chat as well. He meant to say, up.
Oh, yes, I see. They would suck each other up. Ah, yes. Of course. It was clearly a Freudian slip. A typo, obviously. Yes.
Yes. Now let me use my powers and edit his comment to say "suck each other off." Period! Exclamation point! No continuation.
All right. James G also says, "Discuss this meme. It's the 'all your base are belong to us' meme." If anybody remembers that, I remember that one. Let me see if I can find a GIF of it real quick. But I remember that one. Sam, do you remember that one?
Wait, which one?
All your base are belong to us. That one? Seizure warning, I think. I'm gonna delete that and find a non-seizure warning one. But now you've all seen what I'm talking about.
Yes.
That's an old one. That's a very old one. That's one of the first internet memes. Yeah, I remember that one. I mean, I was a very small child, but I remember that one. Now I am a bigger child, and I still remember it.
You've gone from small child to big child. Not grown man, not young adult, just big child.
Big child. I mean, you know me, Sam. Is that wrong?
I mean, you can drive a car.
Exactly. I just fooled all the adults. Goity has an actual question. When do you think coronavirus will end, and if it will affect your channel because people have less time on their hands? I don't know. I've thought about that a lot. I think the coronavirus is going to end sooner than we all expect it to, I'll be honest. But I couldn't say when to save my life. I can't predict that. Sam, what do you think?
Didn't they mention something that, like, it was going to probably be gone by July?
Well, that's in America. He wants to have a bunch of people, like the majority of American adults vaccinated. But it might not even be a majority, but it's a lot by then. But that's, that's speculative. It looks like it's going to happen, and that's great, but that's just for America. Please go get vaccinated. There is nothing that proves or that has ever proven that vaccines cause autism. The only study that quote-unquote proved it was immediately upon publishing, disproven and refuted by experts all across the field. Please go get vaccinated. You are putting people's lives at risk. And if two people talking about Donkey Kong OCs can tell you that, you should be able to figure it out.
This is the power of halftime chat. We go from Donkey Kong OCs to talking about real-world COVID situation.
I will say, that's the beauty of these podcasts, I think, is that 2 podcasts ago, we sat here and had like 20-minute conversations about art and video games, and now we're here, so you never know what you're gonna get on the LUIGINATOR podcast, everybody. Goity also has a second question. Is cereal soup? Yes.
Didn't I already ask that question, like, several podcasts ago?
Probably, but I don't remember if we went into it. Cereal is soup. I think it has all the basic qualifiers.
I remember we did research on this at the start of one of the podcasts where I asked you that question. You said, I don't know. And I actually, like, looked up when cereal or soup was invented.
Oh my god, you did!
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Well, yes, cereal is soup. That's my go-to now.
Soup
so I
salad.
guess your research did good. James G agrees, looks like it. Globgo Gabgalab says soup is a drink, which is a very powerful thought, because I have drank soup before, Sam, have you?
I drink the liquid in soup, but there's parts of soup that is chunky, so...
Cereal is chunky. That's actually the next one. James G, cereal is just chunky soup.
Well, I mean, I like eat the soup and / drink the soup from a bowl, not from a cup, like I would do with a drink. So I think soup is not a drink.
But you could put a drink in a bowl and it would still be a drink, would it not?
Well, I mean, the initial purpose of the drink. So let's say in this for this topic, we would say sweet tea. Like if the ideal way to drink the tea would be to put it in a cup of some kind and drink it from that. The bowl is meant for, like, soups and cereals, so no one will be ideal just like, yeah, put tea in there. Because also there's a level of thickness requirement, I think. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Thick.
Globgo Gabagalab says soup is a drink, so cereal is a drink. And James said that settles it. So I think that the Discord chat is in agreement against you here, Sam. You got a fight to have in the Discord chat, dude.
I mean, I'll throw down. I'll throw some sweet tea at you. I'll throw some ramen that I currently have in my stomach right now because that's what I had for lunch. I'll throw food at you. We'll have a food fight. When was the last time anyone said food fight?
What a bad movie. We'll talk about that someday, probably.
No, not the movie. Just, like, food fights in general.
I really only ever talked about food fights in general when I talked about the movie, I'll be honest. I talk about the movie in an unfortunately large amount. But let's press on. Sonic Saber 25 has given us a slate of topics again. Thank you, Sonic Saber. Those are very good. Go check out Sonic Saber 25's channel. He just hit 100 subs. Congratulations to him on that. Another Resident Evil showcase is apparently going to happen sometime this April. Resident Evil Village stuff will probably be the focus, but I'm hoping for something about a Resi 4 remake. Nice. I would love a Resi 4 remake. Resident Evil 4 is the first horror game I had exposure to because I watched my brother play it on the GameCube growing up.
Yeah, I would love a RE4 remake because I definitely got all the achievements in RE2 and RE3 remakes, and they were so much fun. Yeah,
Resi 4 remake needs to happen, and Leon should be in Smash. If not in Ultimate, then at some point, Leon deserves to be in Smash. There's rumors of Nintendo getting a Joy-Con patent approved. Will they be driftless? I'm not getting my... Okay, I actually saw that. There's speculation that the quote-unquote patent that got... Well, not quote-unquote. The patent that got released was for the quote-unquote Switch Pro. It is the updated, upgraded, new Joy-Con, and yes, I absolutely think it will address drift.
Did somebody say drift? Deja vu!
Oh my god, the flip at the end really got me.
Deja vu. That would be the state.
Oh man. Okay, Sam, this one seems to be specifically for you. To keep us both going through the lack of game news, I have something. There's a Sonic card game being released called Sonic the Card Game. Riveting name, I know. It's apparently meant to be some kind of racing game, but with cards, but I'm short on details on this one. Maybe the two of us can try it out and play a round or two at some point in the future after it gets released. Ooh. What do you think about that, Sam?
That's interesting. I didn't know they were making a card game. I also feel like they made a card game before, but that might have been like on the Sonic Party game, Sonic Shuffle. So we'll put that back on the shelf. But I feel like a Sonic card game, that would be super fun, because it'd just be a race to get all the Chaos Emeralds, and then you win at racing. So I'm interested to see how that plays out. Yeah, let's do a round or two. Maybe we can put it on Tabletop Simulator, because we don't know.
Yes.
That way we can get everybody in on it. Everybody in the card games. Because also in-person contact face-to-face is very sketchy right now. So we'll
but
play
it's
by
getting
ear.
Less sketchy, day by day.
Day by day. But yeah, I would love to play with you, man. Just when and where.
The final point from Sonic Saber, other than that, I guess there's some news which is kind of old, about the production on Sonic movie sequel, aka the only reason I'll be visiting a cinema in 2022, has started. I'm so excited for this sequel film, literally only because of Tails. If you've listened to these podcasts, then I am super excited about Tails. It's not a spoiler, he was in the trailer for the new one, the teaser.
Oh, I forgot that one came out, right?
Yeah, oh, I'm so excited. I love Tails. If you're no stranger to this channel, you're no stranger to the fact that I friggin' love Tails. I love Tails so much.
Tails is my Knuckles fan.
Tails is my second favorite Sonic character. I'm not gonna say who my favorite Sonic character is. I'm saving that. That's for a special occasion.
I already know the answer.
Yes, Sam already knows the answer. Let's see. Oh, and Jimothy Ross has the final question. In what episode does Donkey Kong appear in Attack on Titan Season 4? I haven't seen him yet, and I'm starting to get worried. I lost that bet. Jimothy, Donkey Kong appears in the first episode of Season 4, so if you didn't see him there, I guess you're just a fake fan, dude.
Donkey Kong is actually in the Dragon Ball universe. You know how when a Saiyan looks at a full moon with their tails out, they turn into Donkey Kong. Boom. Mind blown.
Donkey Kong is actually in the Pokemon anime. You know how Ash catches the Pokemon in Pokeballs? Well, Donkey Kong is the Pokeball.
See that's Donkey Kong.
What did you... Oh, no. Oh, that's racist. You're saying that all apes look the same? Dude, what the fuck?
Let me ask you this. If I were to put a tie that's a DK on the tie and then made that guy on the GIF wear the tie, would you say, oh yes, that's Donkey Kong?
If I put a tie that says DK on you, would you look at yourself and say, oh, that's Donkey Kong? Wake up, look in the mirror and say, oh my god, there's a fucking Donkey Kong in my apartment? Yeah.
How can I look at myself, Caleb? I'm invisible.
Well, so you just see the tie. Are you a vampire? Oh god. Oh no. Oh Jesus. Run! Run! Alright, how much time do we have left in this podcast? All right, Sam, we're gonna do for the first time ever, we're gonna do an extended lightning round. This lightning round is gonna be a little bit different this time around because instead of rapid fast doing it after the timer, we're gonna rapid fast Sam make up Donkey Kong characters back and forth, giving a very brief description of them and their name, right up to the clock. All right, Sam, are you ready?
Okay.
All right, cool. My first Kong, Peanut Kong. He's like Mr. Peanut, only he's a Kong. Picture Mr. Peanut's body, only he's got big buff Donkey Kong arms and little tiny buff Donkey Kong legs. And instead of wearing a tie, he wears a bow tie, and his top hat says the DK on it. Peanut Kong. Sam, go.
Meanwhile, in a parallel universe where Mario and Donkey Kong switch roles, oh my gosh, it's Donkey Bros! Mario is now known as Mario Kong, and he's throwing barrels at the Mr. Donkey Bros. Oh my gosh, role reversal. Boom, done. You go.
All right, next up, Barrel Kong. In an alternate universe, it's a giant barrel with really skimpy legs, but he opens up the lid on the top and tiny gorillas come out and they just beat the crap out of Mario as he's climbing up trying to save Pauline. Barrel Kong. Sam, go.
Meanwhile, in a parallel universe where Donkey Kong grew up in the hood and shanks people constantly, and Diddy Kong is this little guy with a black.
God, revoked, vetoed, holy shit. All right, timer's about to go off. So, Final Kong. Its name is Banjo Kong, and it's literally just Banjo from Banjo-Kazooie. Fuck you, Sam, it's Banjo. There he is, Banjo Kong. That's the LUIGINATOR podcast for this one, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. Sam, do you have anything to say in farewell?
My last one was gonna be Donkey Kong, but he smokes weed.
Donkey Kong? God damn it. Alright, thanks everybody for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a comment, join the Discord, and all that good stuff. And until next time, Sam and LUIGINATOR out. See you later, friends.
Please don't unsubscribe.